Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brad, and today I want to talk about Q Maps related to the horrible conspiracy theory, which is totally fake and a complete lie, QAnon. So I'm a pretty big fan of the QAnon movement and the facts that are presented with it. My gripes with it are that it's so vague. It's like riddles on the internet. Like, there have been so many times where, you know, based on like the Q drops and the information that's put out, that like I've gotten all riled up and I'm like, oh my god, there's going to be something huge coming. And everybody always says that. They're like, it's happening, and yet like nothing fucking happens during that day. Like, they're literally like, boom, and meanwhile it's October 14th, 2020, and there's like, you're telling me that they don't have videos of the pedophile rings and some celebrities and some of the people in Biden's cabinet and Hunter Biden. They just released these little fucking things that are barely anything, like an audio file of Biden talking to some guy or talking to the Ukrainians and the Russians, and then there's like some report, or there's like some lady that's getting all excited. She's like, we have a laptop with all the information that Hillary Clinton and Obama killed the Navy SEALs and they were in on it. It's explosive. That dropped yesterday, and we're all just like, all the Q people are like, it's happening. Regardless, though, it's not. Nothing has happened yet. Okay. The most significant political thing that happened yesterday was Amy Coney Barrett killing it. I mean, just looking awesome and looking super competent. The Democrats exposing themselves for the criminals that they are, as they've continued to do and keep getting away with it again and again and again, and nothing happens. So, but I do honestly really like the QAnon movement because, you know, whether or not there are some things about it that are pretty interesting to me. For instance, the fact that some of these predictions, and one of my favorite things is this thing called the Q Maps, where if you Google the Deep State Mapping Project, you can go look at these Q Maps, and there are like several of them that are super valuable to look at in terms of like self-improvement and stuff like that, like the Health Map, you know, looking at the difference between conventional medicine and holistic hidden medicines from the public. That's a lot of what I talk about, you know, using like COVID-19. Oh my god, we're all going to die from it. No, dude, if you just take zinc, copper, vitamin D, vitamin C, you use the sauna, you know, if you get a pneumonia, you can actually heal it with a nebulizer and a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, allegedly, according to Dr. McCullough. There's a lot of like holistic natural medicines and good old medicines that are out there, like chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine with zinc. Apparently, it's an over-the-counter medication that's been available for years, and it really helps people. So, you know, one of the Q Maps has all that laid out really, really well on the Deep State Mapping Project site. I may upload it to my site. A lot of this stuff's in my product too, by the way, if you guys are interested. But there are a couple of the maps that are really intriguing to me. One of them is the COVID-19 Gates map, which is really related to 2020. And dude, that map has been really accurate. Like that map, I mean, like, it's not perfectly accurate, and there have been things that look bigger on the map than have actually played out, but like, it's pretty amazing how the map was released, I think a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago or something, and like, it's all unfolding. Like the COVID-19, its ties to the Gates and the WHO and the UN, and how all these institutions are tied together, and how there's two different timelines. There's a positive timeline and a negative timeline, and like, you know, how it's all being unfolding. It's all on that map. It was all predicted on that map. Now, whether or not that's simply because they just read up on this stuff and they put the pieces together, you know, some like genius autistic kid from 4chan or 8chan or something just put it together. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I just take the information from QAnon and I try to make the best decisions for my life based on it. And I also try to tell people about what's going on, because it doesn't matter where I get the information from, whether it's QAnon, and I'm not dissing QAnon. It pisses me off how smeared QAnon is, even by Alex Jones, Infowars, who I really respect and I love his stuff. A lot of people really smear it for no reason. I don't get why. The only one thing that I really have a gripe with it about is like how like every little thing is just like, oh my god, boom! It's a fucking mega revelation. She's been hung in jail and she's going out today to get fucking dragged in front of. She's gonna get launched into the sun and publicly hanged today. There's gonna be a huge blackout and all these things are gonna happen. I mean, they've kind of happened. Don't get me wrong, like there have been a lot of things that are really bizarre that have happened along the timelines of the maps and along the timelines of the drops that are very, you're just like, whoa, how could this QAnon thing, how could he have known that this was going to happen in this order or predict it on this day? Pretty weird. I mean, there's a lot of things that have just been completely brushed under the fucking rug. Like, dude, you remember that whole, like, nuclear bomb that went off in Beirut? It was like a tactical nuke. They're like, oh, it was the fireworks that did that. Dude, that was a mushroom cloud. And it blew up they put a map of the size of the blast, and that blast would have destroyed Manhattan entirely. Like, it would have literally wiped out everything from South Street Seaport to Washington Heights. Something like that. I mean, it was just like, it was a blast. And then after that, there were several other blasts. How about all the fires that, like, half of the United States is on fire? And there are videos of, like, direct energy weapons and stuff, like a fucking beam that's shining down, and, like, the burn, the way that the trees burn is, like, in a line. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on for sure that ties into the Q maps. And then the weirdest thing is, like, how, for instance, like, literally these maps were made years ago, and there's, like, there's Gates, and then talking about the COVID-19, talking about COVID-19 enhanced. Yeah, I mean, again, Gates coming out recently, he's reinforcing this idea. Well, that worked for the first pandemic, but now we need to be aware of the second pandemic. The first one was a test, and this is all written about in lockstep, Rockefeller lockstep documents. What do they call it? Agenda 201. All this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of shit that you're just like, wow, this is really happening. The Microsoft patent for the vaccine for COVID-19 is, I shit you not, look it up, 060606, something like that. I mean, the enzyme they put in it is called luciferase. Dude, what? I mean, it's just crazy. The thing is that the media obviously are highly complicit in this. The government highly complicit in this. The Democrats are all clearly criminals and communists, Satanists, and all this stuff is coming out. Yeah, man, I mean, QAnon is legit. I mean, honestly, it is legit. My one gripe with it is that it's like I said, sometimes I feel like the Q drops are, I mean, like, why with the riddles? Like, I just don't understand what the overall higher purpose or plan is for this. I mean, it's suggested that, like, timing is everything, according to Q, and symbolism will be their downfall, and he says all these things, and they make sense, but it's like, unless he's playing some really high-level, five-dimensional chess, and there's, like, a lot of shit that we don't know about, where when people die, they're actually okay, and they go off to some other fucking world, and they're fine, or something, I don't understand why wait to drop this stuff. If you're supposed, and I also don't understand this about the Trump administration. I mean, you're telling me that you have the highest level, you are the president of the United States, and you have access to all these resources, and I'm sure you have some loyalists. why the fuck are you not exposing Hillary Clinton right now, Barack Obama now, this global, worldwide cabal of people, the Vatican? I mean, you're telling me you don't have info on this to just release to the people? I mean, why not just release all this stuff? Why not release the videos of the child trafficking, pedophilia videos, child snuff films? There's apparently millions of them. I mean, this is apparently like a huge criminal underworld that's being systematically dismantled under Trump. I mean, it just, there's a lot of questions I have about it, and in some ways I'm losing faith, because it's like, oh my God, just release it already. This is crazy. But then again, Q talks about how everyone's going to go to higher levels of consciousness, and this is, these are things that are validated. Human beings, this is on the CIA website, CIA.gov. You can look this stuff up under the tag, what is it, Stargate or Gateway or something. Stargate, I think, is what it's called. You could just, if you want, you just punch this into Google, CIA astral projection, or CIA chakras, CIA holograms. There's a whole bunch of shit at CIA UFOs. And look, man, this is stuff that's on the site, okay? Like, this is not me. I'm not that fucking creative. I like to play guitar. I make my little website. I'm kind of funny at times. I'm goofy looking, so I have to be funny, get laid. So, pretty much the deal is, it's like, I'm not creative enough to make this shit up. This is on the CIA website. This is stuff, whether it's Q or Fox News or CNN or it's Brad, whatever. This is stuff that if you just punch it in, I promise you'll find some pretty meaty evidence of what I'm talking about here. So, apparently there's these higher levels of consciousness. I personally believe that, like, in order to transmute, if we're looking at alchemy here, if you want to transmute to light and, live in the light and live with Jesus Christ and live more Christ-like life, Yahweh, whatever you want to call God, be a good person, be on the right side of history and do the right thing, and just live with God. You have to also, I think, understand the darkness. You can't just be this hippie that's just like, yes, I'm gathering my intention. God, what do you wish for me to do today? You want me to go expose the pedophile rings? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pray. Like, I'm fairly sure there's a lot of people that are like that. I think in order to really appreciate the light of goodness and everything that we have right now, and even today with the lockdowns, I still have my health. I got this cool Wu-Tang shirt. I got a cool tattoo. I have a camera. I have a laptop. And there's so much to be grateful for. And I thank God for it. And I didn't even, pray or repent today. But I need to start doing that again. Bottom line is that you've got to understand the darkness to really understand and appreciate the light, I think. And maybe in order for the world to kind of wake up to that, maybe it just has to be this kind of 2 minutes to midnight type situation where we're literally on the verge of, I mean, if Biden gets elected, which is a few weeks away, it's about 3 weeks away, the election. And if Biden wins, and then the inauguration happens, even when he wins, the Democrats are criminals. They're scumbags. They lie, they cheat, they have absolutely no morals at all. I mean, again, the evidence is all there. The evidence is all there. You can look at the Q Maps and then go do your research based on that. That's probably the best way to use QAnon. If they win, we're fucked. I mean, we're so fucked. We're already kind of fucked. Because this is a globalist, massive plan to crush the U.S. economy, crush the global economy. And again, reminder here, nobody seems to really give a shit about this, but millions of people have starved to death because of these lockdowns. Hundreds of thousands of businesses, if not millions probably by now, businesses are out of business. There's no way, for instance, for a restaurant in New York City, a restaurant profit margin is about 3%. It's around there. I printed an article on my site about this. It's like 2% to 6% is average restaurant profit margin. That's not a big profit margin, dude. And, you know, that's assuming that you have, you know, you hit your quota for customers, you know, you're making the right amount of profit on every dish, you know, the supply chain is working effectively, so on and so forth. Restaurants in New York City have to operate at a 25% capacity. They have to sit outside. They still have to pay rent. You have to pay utilities, have to pay for the chefs, have to pay for the people to bust the food, and so on and so forth. There's no fucking way that you can operate a business like that. Most businesses fail, and most businesses only have, if they're successful, they only have a few months, if that, to operate into the future. I've run an online business. I've got about maybe 12, 13 months of capital to keep operating. But the good news is I know how to make sales, and unless they totally censor me, which believe me, I get censored a lot. I get blocked. They've made it really hard. They've taken a lot from me, but I mean, you know, I'll just go strip or something. I don't know, dude. I'll go fucking carry a golf bag, whatever. It's never gonna come to that for me, God willing. But the point is that guys, is that, you know, more or less, the economy is crashing. There are real problems that are coming, and this is done by design. This is these people, these Democrats in bed with these globalists. You know, you have the Davos group meeting in Sweden or whatever, and they're talking about a great reset. They're deciding for you, some old schmuck is deciding for you and your family how much money, you know, the average American deserves. The average American deserves to make this amount of money, and they deserve to have this level of health care. This is how much they need, and we can't have them to have too much. The lifespan is a little too much. And if you're Indian and you're watching this and you're offended, lighten up, okay? I'm a Jew, I've got a big nose, okay? You can make fun of me too. Let's just lighten up. Like the head of Google, you know, that guy, he's making decisions about your life. I wouldn't trust that guy to fucking plunge my toilets, bro. That guy has skinny little arms. He's a liar. He was in front of Congress lying. Lying to Congress is kind of a big deal. But him, the Zuckold, Mark Zuck, lying to Congress, all big tech, all these people making these decisions for you, making these decisions about how much you pay for ads, you know, how much you deserve to earn, how long you deserve to live, what type of, you know, Bill Gates, dude, I'm out of shape, but I'm pretty sure I'm more fucking jacked than Bill Gates. If I saw, like, honestly, if I saw Bill Gates, I'd get in his face and I'd be like, hey man, oh dude, big fan, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, can I get an autograph over here? And then I'd be like, you fucking bitch. Like, I would go at him and be like, dude, so what's this with the vaccines? And he'd be like, help. I'd be like, shh, no, shh, my time to talk. Dude, I mean, who are these people to talk to you like this? Who are these people to tell you you're gonna put a vaccine in your kid? So anyway, going back to the Q-Anon, so that's why he never goes out. I can't imagine Bill Gates walking down the street today. Can you? Bill Gates walked down the street. Pretty sure there'd be a few people who'd be kind of pissed off at him. Cuomo, de Blasio, you never see those guys. They pop in, they pop out, they have all these armed security guards around them. You can't have guns, but they, you know, I need the guns for me. You shouldn't have the guns because you're an idiot. That's basically what they say about you. So the Q maps are cool because and they're pretty profound for this reason. You literally see all these events that have happened in order. And, like, how the fuck did he know years ago Sleepy Joe Biden, or whenever he put this out, Sleepy Joe Biden is going to be removed, or, you know, Trump rallies are going to be stopped, and then they're going to have this global reset, and, you know, economic reset, like, all these things. And then he's got these maps about, you know, the Jesuits and its connection to the Vatican and the Jews and the fucking Islam and and the gods they worship and Baal and Moloch and all these things. Like, he just has it mapped out amazingly. And it's like, how the fuck? I just have a very hard time believing that, like, one person could do that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people that are autistic that have incredible, incredible memories. There was a kid in my middle school, I remember, could remember he could remember every baseball player's statistics, literally. Like, you'd be like, who played third base for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1956 on October 16th or something, and he would be like, oh, it was Josh Bartley, and he batted .330, and he did this, and he did that. There are people out there that are really like that. It was fucking amazing. I'm not going to say his name, but it was pretty amazing. That kid had an amazing ability. There are some autistic people that have amazing abilities. Human beings are amazing. So I'm not trying to say, like, that it's outside the realm of possibility that it's just some guy or a group of guys that are, like, super hyper intelligent or autistic or something that can just, like, channel in, or they're able to astrally project, which is a thing. They're able to get into deep transcendental meditation and connect with some other higher entities that are giving them this information, which is proven that they actually do this. And you can go to the CIA.gov library and you can look into this stuff. The things that are in that, by the way, are like, whoa. I mean, dude, I'm a pretty meat and potatoes kind of guy, you know, like, I like boxing. I do things by brute force. I'm not exactly like the most polished individual, but I believe in doing things that just fucking work. Like, I don't like the theory of stuff. I like just doing stuff and trying to put stuff out there and doing my best with stuff. And I think my track record shows that. But I do think that, like, the QAnon movement is overall a very, very good thing. Anyone that smears it as crazy conspiracy theory, they either are just simply trying to protect their agenda because they know the Democrats are going down and they're fucking they're ideologues. I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't give a shit about the Republicans. I don't give a shit about the Democrats. I care about my life. I care about you guys. I care about people. And anybody that's trying to hurt you or hurt me or hurt my family or hurt anybody is an enemy. Fuck them. So I'm not like fucking beholden to Q. I'm not beholden to Trump or anybody. I just want to be left alone, run my business, have a fair shake in making a business that isn't like fucking torture to run, just constantly being censored, constantly having problems with payment processors, and constantly having all these fucking issues. You know, it's torture sometimes. It's just absolute fucking torture, but you keep going. That's what you do as a responsible business owner. You just keep fucking going, and you make it. You make it through, always. But, yeah, like, that's the point. QAnon overall, 2 thumbs way up. Way up. 4 thumbs up. I don't know. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. And I would just say, like, with the drops and the movement, another thing I love about the Q movement is the enthusiasm behind it. People are like, they're like, where we go one, we go all. Protect and save the children. And it's like, saying it, you feel a little bit like weird, like, this is kind of corny, whatever. No, it's actually a really, really good thing. And it's going to become, and the more passionate that you get about it, the better. Because it is a big deal, and this stuff really is going on. And the worst thing about it is what they're doing to those kids. Child rape, satanic ritual abuse, Pizzagate, all this stuff that goes on in huge, huge numbers, guys. I mean, they published some statistics. It's like 800,000 or some shit. People go missing a year or are involved in human trafficking in the United States alone. That is crazy, dude. That's almost 1 million people. I can't even imagine that fucking number and the hell they go through. You can watch some documentaries on it. Q talks a lot about it. You know, Epstein. It's just like, it's so frustrating though. Like, that's my reason. I'm like getting bitter and shit about Q. It's because, dude, Jeffrey Epstein got arrested. Ghislaine, Ghislaine, I call her Ghislaine, you know, because she provided the lane for, you know, rich politicians and schmucks like Chris Wallace to jizz on little girls. Ghislaine, fuck her, whose father, by the way, Robert Maxwell, was an Israeli Mossad agent, which is basically the CIA of the Israelis. And we all know how corrupt the CIA is here in America. Mossad is also very, very corrupt. That was her dad, Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, she has all these fucking big connections. Anyway, she's arrested. Why the fuck is she not being literally tortured to fucking spill the beans? I mean, she better be, like... That's crazy. To me, that's crazy. Like, anybody that would defend that woman and protect her or assist in the assassination attempt of her, maybe, like they did to Epstein, maybe, instead of extracting the information from her. Our military knows how to interrogate people, okay? You know, they go through a little thing called SEER school in all the special operations courses. They know a little thing about fucking interrogation. They can make people talk. Any information that people have that are willing to get, that they're, you know, they're not like totally like, you know, jihadist level insane and dedicated to their cause where they're not going to give up any information, they're going to give up that information. And you're telling me you can't interrogate Ghislaine Maxwell, like a proven pedophile, child groomer in bed with Jeffrey Epstein? You're really not going to use those tactics on her? No, you use the waterboarding tactics on a Trump supporter or allow them to get shot in the fucking head. But Ghislaine Maxwell, oh no, we need to give her special permission. Literally in the news the other day, there's a thing with Ghislaine where she's like, I just feel like I need a continuance on my case, and I just want to hire a new lawyer. Are you fucking kidding me? She gets to have a continuance? Why the fuck was she not dragged to Guantanamo Bay and waterboarded on the first fucking day? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. She's doing human trafficking for fucking ex-presidents that are treasonous? Dude, that's crazy! That's the thing that I don't like about the whole Q thing. It's like, oh, timing is everything, and boom, and then everyone's like, it's happening! Actually, dude, no. All that would need to happen for all this to go away is to have one video release of some high-level politician doing some satanic ritual abuse shit to some kid. You know, if you get Hillary and you get Obama, and there's actually a photo of Obama in a Satan suit. Nobody cares. Just one video of this satanic ritual abuse, which they all do because it's all part of this gay little ritual they do. And never forget, I'm gay and identify as a hooved, black, trans, Pacific Partnership, trans black woman, and I'm going to get medically blinded soon. So don't you dare criticize me, or I'll have you canceled. Literally, I fucking lost my place. Damn it. But, I mean, you get what I'm saying here? Like, how is it that none of these people have information? Ellen DeGeneres doesn't have information, whose set of her show literally has a background that is Epstein Island. The convicted pedophile. Hello, is this not a big deal? It's just like, and they just get away with it. They get away with it. And I almost, like, the other day was at the point where I'm like, yeah, none of this shit's real. And it's just gonna, I mean, it's real, but they're gonna get away with it. And, I'm just gonna keep working, so whatever. You know, like, I was at a point where I'm just like, it doesn't even matter. I'll keep making videos, but probably not gonna happen. The Q thing is probably, you know, it's not bullshit, but it's probably just some, like, autistic kid. But then on the other hand, you know, a lot of the predictions have come true. And I'm making a video that's more cynical today. I'll probably remake another video about Q in a week. Because every day is such an emotional up and down being in New York. My God, man. Anybody that's actually tuned into politics, reads, works, doesn't just, like, sit at home and, like, watch TV and, like, fiddle with their boogers, is pretty, like, disturbed by what they're seeing. So, that's about it. I think Q is overall, like, super legit. Check out the Deep State Mapping Project, the Q Maps. I'm going to upload them to my site. I'll probably write an article today on QAnon. I have like about 20 articles I wrote last week on my site about health and picking up women in the two-way, and then some political articles, some prep articles about how to take care of yourself if shit hits the fan, which it very well fucking may. I mean, dude, if these people really, they're obviously super guilty. I mean, how obvious is it that Hillary Clinton is super guilty? How obvious is it that Joe Biden is super guilty? And how painful is it that there are Democrats who still support Joe Biden? I mean, these people, Trump literally has a spray tan, and they're like, orange man, I would never vote for him. Look at how much of a liar he is. I'm like, name a lie, he said. They're like, he's downplayed the COVID-19 hoax crisis. And you're just like, where? It's like, well, we have the worst rates of any fucking country. I'm like, no, we don't. Can you back that up with any statistical evidence? You're an idiot. I'm like, no, you're an idiot, you bitch. You fucking dumbass Democrat. Why don't you fucking shut the fuck up? They all have this attitude of they have this aristocratic attitude. I have some dumb 18-year-old blonde chick who literally has an OnlyFans account, has a body count of 118 and has had 3 abortions. Tell me I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, bitch, I'm 32 and I have a business, and I don't live with my parents, and also I actually read and write shit. I have some things to back up my argument. All right, I get that was an ad hominem attack on you and shit, but can you actually talk facts with me? I know you liberals really don't like that. They're just you're racist. I'm like, how am I racist? Explain that to me. They're like, cause you're white. I'm like, so the fuck are you, bitch? And they're like, I'm a woman. I'm like, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. I identify as a black trans woman, gay, with hooves, and I'm looking forward to my medical blindness. I beat you on racist points. And they're just like, you want to make out or something? And like, yeah. And then we go hook up and fuck. But still though, it's just shut up. Shut up, you liberal idiot. Really, they don't have any argument. They're just criminals. They're liars. These Antifa people that go around and they burn, and then they'll go around, they'll burn, they'll loot, they'll murder, and then I'm just like, you're a fat lesbian. And they're like, oh my god, he said fat lesbian, let's go shoot the Clemson in the face. Yeah, man, it's pretty good times. So, Q's pretty good. Go to bradholiday.com for some more sweet content. You guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.